What is going on, everyone? Hello and welcome back. You're into another edition of Next Gen Jets. We appreciate you all joining us here on this Saturday evening, May 17th, 2025. I'm your host, Connor Long, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Grasso. Make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe to support Chris and I. Throw all your questions in the chat, call into the show with the pinned comment. Paid way to help us grow helps us just as much as smashing the like button and hitting subscribe as you can get into our membership raffle, baby. Every $2.99 super chat or gifted membership gives you a chance to win a Sauce Gardner signed jersey, a Kevin Mawai signed mini helmet, Aaron Glenn signed trading card, Jonathan Vilma signed photo, Bart Scott signed photo, a free item from our merch store, and a channel emoji. Every $2.99 super chat or gifted membership gives you an entry. More entries you have, the higher chance you have of taking home a prize. Chris, no show last night, but super happy to be back on with you. How you doing, my friend?
100%, man. I'm doing well. I'm doing better than my Wi-Fi. Just a little cutting in and out, so don't mind that. But I'm glad to be here with you, my brother, on a beautiful Saturday night.
100%. You got any conspiracy theories to kick us off tonight?
I'm good. I don't want anyone showing up to my house.
Where are you located again?
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere out there. That's what they all say. And Jamal Adams remains somewhere out there. He's still available on the free agent market. And speaking with the Jet Lounge on X, Sack, Justin, Ken, they all do a great job. I was in that Twitter space, and Jamal was very, very kind to dedicate over 2 hours of his time to Jet fans to kind of the Twitter space, kind of like an open Q&A where anyone can come up and ask any questions. So Jamal Adams was practically talking to strangers for over 2 hours, strangers being Jets fans in this case. And Adams, we all know from his past comments that he regrets the way he handled his exit in New York. He thinks he made a mistake, kind of the way he handled himself. He handled his presence. And now he's kind of made it clear that I'm 1,000% open to returning home, which he dubs New York City, and he'll do anything he can. So it was certainly an interesting scenario. Jamal Adams praised Aaron Glenn in that Twitter space. He has a prior relationship with Aaron Glenn. Kind of sum everything up there, Chris. Would you be open to a Jamal Adams reunion? Would it make sense for the Jets?
Speaking from a logical perspective, I'm concerned, if he's going to be able to stay on the field with his injury concerns. Like, is he going to be able to play? And one, is he still able to actually get on there and play solid football? But the fan perspective of me would love it, because Jamal Adams was a polarizing figure here. We know the way he exited wasn't ideal for us as fans, but can you really blame him? He was young, and we were all
young and dumb. That's what he said, word for word.
Yeah, young and dumb. And the Jets, all they were doing was losing. And obviously he regrets that and he wants that back. So the fan perspective of me says, yes, I'm open to it. But logically, is he going to be able to come in and play good football, A, and B, is he going to be able to be healthy?
The fan and logic perspective of me both say yes, 1,000%. Jamal Adams is someone who, Jamal literally said this in the Twitter space. If I don't blame Joe Douglas at all for taking 2 first-round picks. He got a great deal from me, and that turned into Garrett Wilson and Elijah Vera Tucker. I don't think the Jets would think twice about making that trade today. 100%. The bottom line is, what is the negative of bringing him in on a cheap 1-year deal and having him compete for a roster spot? This is someone who is a box safety, something the Jets lack, a true, strong box safety who you can come in, play on blitz packages. That's number one. This guy had 9 sacks during his first year with the Seattle Seahawks. He was a Pro Bowler. Yes, ultimately injuries derailed him. But this guy isn't 35 years old. He's 29 years old. Is that young? Do I consider that a young age for an NFL player? No, it's not particularly young, but he's not creeping up on that age 30 mark. He certainly has the talent. He was the 6th-round pick for a reason. What is the negative of bringing this guy in for training camp, seeing what he can do, and having him fight for a roster spot? Connection with the coaching staff, can play in the box, potentially offer depth at one of the Jets' biggest needs. There's no negative. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Aaron Glenn would bring him in, though? Him and Aaron Glenn, I know he was talking positive about him, but do they have, some kind of relationship going?
I asked that question to Jamal, and Jamal told me that he has a great relationship with Aaron Glenn. He played under him last year. He loves him. He thinks he's a coach who everyone wants to play for. And Aaron Glenn actually organized Jamal Adams' LSU Pro Day.
Interesting. So this does look like a win-win in both case scenarios, but and it depends. What would the contract look like? Because I want to pay
1
a
year,
lot.
prove it. 1 year, $3 million.
See, that's really a good deal because then, that's fine with me because we do need help in the run game. And you said you can come in and be a box safety. That means you can be in the box and provide help in the run game, which we desperately need. And we have a lot of unproven pieces at safety. Although I do like what's his name? I like who's the guy we signed? Andre Sisco. I think I like him. I think he needs to prove it more, but he can be solid. We can keep on continuing to see him develop. But Jamal Adams would not hurt at all.
People mention the character concerns. I don't think Aaron Glenn would have been open to signing him and having him play meaningful snaps for a Detroit Lions team last year if he had true concerns about his character. For those who are worried about the character and that being a reason why they don't want to go, why you don't want the Jets to go after him, I think that's not a great excuse. Young and dumb, I think this guy has changed, and I don't think Aaron Glenn would have been open to bringing him in Detroit and having him play meaningful snaps for a Detroit Lions team that was competing looking to make a deep run in the playoffs last year. So I think the character concerns need to be brushed aside. You just need to look at the pure numbers. Like, if he can give you if he can make the roster on a $3 million deal and be your number 3 safety, that's a fleece for $3 million.
Yes, and someone who we know has great reps in him in the past, but what does he have going forward? That's why a 1 year approved deal would be ideal, if assuming he makes the roster. So yeah, I mean, it would 100% be interesting to see him come back and at least get him working out in training camp to see what he has and if Aaron Glenn likes him.
Speaking of great reps in the past, Chris Grasso, that's Greg Zuerlein, and he's no longer a New York Jet. The Jets made the decision yesterday to move on from Zuerlein, and this is a move I was 1,000% happy about. I wanted to see this come sooner rather than later. Someone who literally lost games for this New York Jets team in 2024. You can't have your kicker losing games. Went from an elite season in 2023 to an awful kicker in 2024. No thank you for me on Greg Zuerlein, and I'm happy he's out of town.
I could not agree more. Special teams was one of the reasons you mentioned it why solely lost us games last season, and that is unacceptable. Your kicker needs to be reliable from 50 plus. That's really what it's all about at the NFL level. And it's not even just this year. There have been instances in the past where Greg Zuerlein has missed. And I know there are excuses to be made regarding the condition of some of these games, but one where there's no excuses is versus the Lions. I think it was in 2022. Zach Wilson just converted that 4th and 18 play, and Zuerlein missed. That arguably could have been one of the Jets. I know we were starting a decline in the second half of the season that year, but if they had beat the Lions, they could have saved that season and went 9-8 and made the playoffs. So ultimately, Greg Zuerlein has been so a negative spot for so long, and I'm so glad they moved on. Now it's just going forward, seeing bring some guys up, trying some guys out, and seeing what we can have at that position. Hopefully, we have someone reliable who can win us games, not lose us games.
My name is Chris Grasso and I love the Jets more than everyone else. I am a highlight warrior. Aaron Glenn is the best coach they could hire, but under 4 games won and he must be fired. I love every 2026 QB just based on highlights. I have watched 5 minutes of Nico's highlights and he is a Hall of Fame. Arm strength is all that matters. This isn't the same old Jets. THE 2025 Jets are different. Justin Fields is the franchise guy, or Nico will be drafted in 26. Highlights are all that matter. My name is Chris Grasso and I love the Jets more than...
My name is Chris Grasso and I love the Jets more than everyone else.
Best line of the song. Now let's run the Connor Long song.
I am Connor Long and I am fucking annoying to most. My takes and pessimism annoy people. According to Chris, I am illogical, and I take that as a compliment. I am done putting blind faith into you regimes, and the Jets need to show me they are not just the same old. Josh McCown would have been the best 18, no matter what Grasso says. I love the Jets with all my heart, boy, you must show me now. I am Connor Long and
I love the Jets with all my heart, but they must show me now. Is that not an all-time line, Chris? You there? Chris, you there? Chris, does the alarm have to wake you up? Are you alive? Are we looking at a dead Chris Grasso right now? Are we, folks? A dead Chris Grasso? Who knows? His Wi-Fi was shit before the show. I think it's continuing to follow that trend. We made it 12 minutes without an issue. And now the issues begin to pour in. Chris, come out, rejoin. Thank you. He's not home right now. I think that's why his Wi-Fi is a little crappy, a little messy. Because normally when he's home, his Wi-Fi is great. But anyways, we're talking about Greg Zuerlein and his release. Kind of Chris mentioned some routes there that he would prefer the Jets to go down. He wants someone in, I think, like all of us, who's going to win us games rather lose us games. So the name that comes to mind right away, who the Jets signed in undrafted free agency, Caden Davis. The Jets still have Anders Carlson under contract. I just don't think that's enough. I'm looking in the free agent market right now. A name I've been talking about a lot, Nick Folk. That's someone I really, really want to bring into this building. Has experience with the Jets. Very, very consistent. From overall, he made every extra point last year. Very consistent on all of his field goals. Strong leg, can hit from 50 plus. Nick Folk, NFL experience. That's the guy I'm looking at. Matt Prater, another veteran name still out there. And Chris Grasso is not dead. He's joining from his phone as his computer was having some issues. It appeared. Chris, do you want to look out on the veteran free agent market to fill this kicker hole?
100%. I think I mentioned before, we need a reliable kicker because the Jets are going to be in a lot of close game scenarios this year with Justin Fields, with some concerns of him as a passer. I don't think we're going to be able to blow teams out necessarily. Our defense will keep us in all the games, and our run first offense, will deliver when it needs to. And if we can get a solid rhythm going, that'll be great. But I don't think we're going to partake in a lot of blowouts. So in close games, making all your extra points and hitting all your field goals, is vital. So we need a reliable kicker, which means I'm 100% open to looking in the veteran market for that.
Everyone smash that like button, hit subscribe. Chris Grasso, Connor Long here with you. Saturday edition of Next Gen Jets. For all your questions and comments for us in the chat, we will get to those. You could call into the show with the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Every gifted membership or $2.99 super chat will get you in on the membership raffle. More entries you have, the higher chance you have of winning. Jimmy Jets kicks us off with a 5-pack of gifted memberships. What does CG have to say?
My name is Chris Grasso and I love the Jets more than everyone else. I am a highlight warrior. Aaron Glenn is the best coach they could have. Hired, but under 4 games won and he must be fired. I love every 2026 QB just based on highlights. I have watched 5 minutes of Nico's highlights and he is a Hall of Fame. Arm strength is all that matters. This isn't the same old Jets. THE 2025 Jets are different. Justin Fields is the franchise guy, or Nico will be drafted in 26. Highlights are all that matter.
Travis Preheem, Jeremy, John Hepburn, Project Prospect with Domesty, 10 Condor. You were all channel members. Thanks to our friend Jimmy. Jimmy, that is 5 raffle entries for you here on the show. We appreciate the hell out of you. We appreciate all of your support. As always, it doesn't stop there. Indy Jets drops in with a 5 spot of gifted membership.
So you got to look at a realistic approach here.
Damn straight, Jack. 5 names to read. Thanks to our friend Indy. Who's Your Daddy? Craig Wilton, Paul Boy Greeneston Jr., Jeffrey R., Jack Morinacho. You are all channel members. Thanks to our friend Indy Jets. Appreciate all of your support. As always, you guys are the best. We appreciate all of your support here on the channel. Let's see. Jake Asman comes in with his 4-month member super chat. Says, let's go Knicks. You love it, Connor. You love it. Cam Thomas better than Jalen Brunson.
That's a wild take. Let's go Knicks. Jalen Brunson is the MVP. He's my GOAT. Clutch player of the year. Listen, Knicks in 5, baby.
Pacers in 4.
Yeah, you said that. You said Celtics in 7. What happened?
Okay.
The Knicks BTA'd the Celtics.
Okay, I don't think the Knicks are going to win this series, though. Like, if I'm being completely honest. Like, just take everything out of it. I don't think the Knicks are going to win this series.
Jalen Brunson versus Halliburton, okay? Brunson is a dog. He can win any series. The Knicks are winning the finals, and I will be parading in New York City. And I mean, saying Cam Thomas is better than Brunson is a wild thing to say.
I'm a Nets fan, so I got to defend my team. You want to see Jalen Brunson, an average play with Jalen Brunson? You want to? Let's see. Let's move this camera over.
Brunson is what the NBA needs. He's rejuvenating to watch.
Wait, let's you gotta let's see. This is Jalen Brunson. In the lane, foul. Every
Nope.
single play.
Jalen Brunson is a
Every
bucket
single
from
play.
anywhere. From
No, he's
anywhere. Yes, he is.
And no, Indy, I'm not pulling for the Pacers. Like I
King of New
I
York
have
City.
nothing against the
Jalen
Knicks.
Brunson.
I have nothing against the Knicks. I want New York to take a championship home. I think the Pacers are going to win this series personally.
Brunson is the king of New York City. He will get anything done. We have Brunson. We have the heart of the city, Josh Hart. OG Anunoby's a dog when he's on fire.
He was benched last night for Mitchell Robinson, who
He was benched because he was cold. He's still a dog. When he warms up, when he gets hot, bro.
Mitchell Robinson, Mitchell Robinson is like a very, very good basketball player. Very, very good basketball player. Longest tenured Knick. You can't find me a player on this Knicks team who makes a larger minute-to-minute impact than Mitch Robinson does when he is on the court. Mitch Robinson, in my opinion, is one of the most valuable Knicks on this roster, and I think he's the unsung hero of this 2025 Knicks team.
Yeah, I'm a playoff Knicks fan. I still have a lot to learn about the Knicks.
Knicks fan.
Yeah, you're a Nets fan. I don't even know why you would choose the Nets. They have the MSG Solos, whatever arena the Nets play in. The Nets
City
have like
Field Solos, whatever arena, whatever stadium the Yankees play in.
You have 5 fans of the Nets, and you and Gary are 2 of them. So listen,
you gotta lead, not follow.
The Knicks run New York City. Bing bong, Knicks and foe. I don't even care. Jalen Brunson. Knicks and foe. Jalen Brunson is the king of New York. We have the heart of the city. Bridges is goated, and Anunoby is goated when everything's going right.
Anunoby is.
This Anunoby hate is not deserved. He puts people on posters and gets offensive fouls for no reason because it's Knicks versus refs. It's New York versus the world, baby. There's nowhere but New York. It's New York or nowhere, as we were all saying. I'm a Staten Island native, bud.
You are a New Jersey citizen.
As of now.
Staten Island's not the city.
That's a diabolical thing to say. Staten Island is Little Italy. It is a vital part of New York City. And people call it Rat Island. People call it the dump. It gets way too much hate.
Lat Island? I've never heard that.
Rat Island.
Oh, Rat Island.
Yeah, but
I've never been to Staten Island.
Gets way too much hate. The pizza there is elite. Frank and Danny's. Come on now.
We appreciate you all. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, throw your questions, comments in the chat for us. For Chris, we appreciate all of your support. And again, smash that like, hit subscribe. $2.99 super chat gifted membership will get you into our membership raffle. Great way to help us support the channel. Throw all your comments and thoughts in for us. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. And we are organizing a Next Gen Jets game meetup for the 2025 season. So just through that link in the chat, please hop over there for a second and fill out that form. We're trying to get everyone together for a game meetup. No game solidified. We're teaming up with a content creator to make this happen, who will remain unnamed, but a big Jets content creator. So please stay tuned for that and fill out that Google Docs sheet, that Google, that Excel, whatever it's called, sheet form to reserve your spot in a potential group buy and tailgate for the Next Gen Jets family this season. So we appreciate the hell out of you guys, and we appreciate all of your support on the program. Please, to help, I'm talking to the Jets this week, so please fill that form out. Hop in there right now. I just threw it in the chat. I will pin it for a minute. Hop in there, please, please, please. I'll just replace it with the column link for a second. Pin comment, go in, reserve your spot, fill out all the necessary categories, and we will go from there, folks. We appreciate it.
Can't wait.
There we go, Chris, getting in there. We appreciate all of your support here on the channel. You guys are the best. Joining us right now, a member of the Next Gen Jets family who was waving a few seconds ago, but his camera appears off, so let's see if he's there. Josh Wolliver joins us. Joshy, what's going on?
What's up, boys?
Let's go. What's up, Josh?
I'm here for this Knicks Nets propaganda. How shall I phrase this?
Josh is a Nets fan. We don't need to know this.
Oh, yeah,
You're just mad. You are just mad that Jalen
No
Brunson
one's
is the
mad.
king of New York.
I mean, we
he's not the
literally
king.
own the Knicks' future. Chris, until you have graduated college plus 10 years.
We don't need draft picks. Dibs is just that good of a coach. We don't even need those picks.
Okay,
F
so
them
he'll
picks.
5 first-round picks for a 20-point scorer, and you don't
F
win the
them
finals.
picks.
I hope it's
Knicks
all
in
worth
6.
it because in 2 years,
You just said they're gonna win in 4 games.
in 2 years, when the Nets
It rhymes. Knicks in 6, baby.
and we're in the Knicks position and we have all your picks, you're gonna be crying back about what do we do with Mikal Bridges trade? He was never that good.
It'll be worth it when we win the
You're gonna be
championship
talking
this year.
about
Like,
Josh, by the
like
way,
Josh, you live in New York. Josh, you live in New York. You're gonna be
Hold on,
feeling
let
the
me not
effects of
finish.
an NYC Knicks
Mikal-
parade.
Mikal Bridges, by the way, Josh, his numbers have dropped off so much this season.
I know.
Bridges had a bad season, but he's coming alive in the playoffs. Like when it really matters,
And he
he's
wasn't-
electric
and-
right now.
What a nice defensive stop.
When Cam Thomas was on the court, he wasn't even the
Do you
one-
watch the Knicks? You don't. I get you don't watch Knick games, Connor, but he's hitting
do.
everything right now.
Who Jalen? Who are you talking?
not when the
Bridges.
game was on.
Connor,
the
don't
line.
put my computer account on the StreamYard.
Okay. Yes.
In the
okay.
Pistons series game on the line, chugs up a terrible 3. By the way, Detroit should have forced that game 7. That was a clear and obvious foul contesting that 3-point shot in the corner at Little Caesars Arena. That should have gone to 7. I think the Pistons had all the momentum, playing with house money. They could have beat the Knicks in that series. Not saying they would have. There was a chance they could have beaten them. Chris, you got to admit that's
Chris,
a foul. Not
Chris.
even
Okay.
close.
I want to throw in a basketball take here. Do you know
Okay.
how much harder it is to score points when you? Do you know how much harder it is to score points when you are the only player who can score on your team?
Yes, because everyone's gonna be on you.
Correct. That's Cam Thomas.
Okay, but
Cam
if he got put on such a talented Knicks team, he'd be lost in the sauce because there's way
That's
too
not
much
true at all.
talent. Yes,
That's
there
not
is.
true.
He'd be like a bench player on the Knicks.
He'd be the starting too. No,
Nah,
that just shows
there's no. We have such a good W lineup. There's like no place for him. Everyone is so
there's
talented.
plenty of place for him.
Nah, Jalen.
Josh,
We have all we're good off that. We have all we need.
Josh, he's trying to say Cam Thomas would not start if he was on the Knicks.
That's ridiculous. Outside of Jalen Brunson, Cam Thomas would slot right in there at either the second or definitely he would be the best right behind Brunson, the best scorer on the team, and probably the second or third best overall player on the team.
I mean, Cam Thomas isn't even that good.
Bro, and you're saying that he wouldn't start over
You literally
Josh
just
Hart?
said you're a playoff Knicks fan.
And
Bro,
you also just
Cam
said
Thomas,
he would be
he's
end
like-
of the bench. No, you just said he would be
The Nets are so bad. You guys like overrate these average players.
These average players who scores 27 points a night with no one around him.
I know.
Jalen Brunson
Agreed.
puts up like 40 a night, bro.
That's not true. Cam Thomas averaged
Yes, it
more
is.
points than Jalen Brunson this past season on less shot attempts with no one around him.
See, this is the analytics that you just kind of watch the game. Jalen Brunson has that clutch factor that no one else has. He just puts it from anywhere.
Okay.
Jalen
and
Brunson
Cam Thomas
icing his
is-
veins.
Exactly. Cam
He
Thomas
killed the
has
Knicks
had so
on their
many
own
buzzer
logo.
beaters.
What?
He killed the Knicks on their own logo to complete the. It was a
The Nets aren't killing anybody, though, bro. Let's get that straight.
Okay,
Let's get
so
that straight. Cam Thomas sent the Knicks home crying.
When
Bridges- look at this.
December
Jimmy Jets comment here.
2023.
the Knicks were never crying about the Nets.
Fourth quarter that
The
game.
little bro Nets.
Okay, but he had 8. Game 2, he had 0 through the first 3 quarters.
I am not saying that the Nets are better than the Knicks by any means whatsoever. I'm simply saying that Cam Thomas gets way too much hate.
No way can you justify that Cam Thomas is better than Jalen freaking Brunson. Come on now.
When Jalen Brunson was 23 years old, Cam Thomas was a trillion times better.
Okay, Jalen Brunson's a late bloomer. Like you see him now, like that doesn't matter at all.
He's still averaging more points than him on less shots per game.
Because he's the only solid player on the Nets, bro. Like the Nets have nobody.
That makes it harder to score when you have everyone around you. That opens up the whole floor, creates so many different.
Yeah, but still, he's the only guy who's getting productive. Yes, it gets a little harder, but at some point he's gonna stand out because there's no one else.
Cam Johnson averaging 15 points per game. That's another body that was around.
15 points per game is not good.
It doesn't sound good.
And okay, and
Playoff
that's
Nick
basically
fan
what the Knicks
again.
give up
Playoff
5
Nick
firsts
fan.
for.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Jalen Brunson, baby. We have Brunson, and you have nobodies.
Nobody's. Cam Johnson is literally more efficient than Jalen Brunson.
Keep telling yourself that. Okay, yeah, that's a way to cope with having 0 fans, a
Alright.
poverty franchise.
Connor, we're taking it a step too far here. Did we just say Cam Johnson was more efficient than Jalen? Yo, 0 out of 10 rage bait, Chris. Don't fall for that. I'm a true Nets fan.
I said when he was 22 years old. 23, however old
22
Cam
years old.
Johnson
So
is.
we're tracing Cam. Wait, Cam Johnson or Cam Thomas?
Thomas.
Okay, because I was about to say I'm not tracing Cam Johnson back to his Phoenix days. But yeah, I mean, I think Cam Thomas is just a guy that can score from anywhere at any point, and he is a better three-point
Like
shooter
Brunson
than
can.
Jalen Brunson. But I think Jalen Brunson's a better, well-rounded teammate, better leader.
Jalen Brunson is just everything you want in a player. Perfect qualities, perfect everything.
Caliber team. Jalen Brunson has that dog in him. He has that clutch factor. I won't doubt that, Chris. But you can't say that Cam Thomas doesn't either, because that would be a terrible.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
have
saying that.
Rep NY in the chat. Deuce McBride better than him. Yeah, just
Yep. Deuce.
Just stop. Just stop. Just stop.
Interesting. Josh, you want Jamal Adams back on this Jets team?
I think for the cheap 1 year, $3.5 million deal, I would be more than fine with it. I don't think he would be a starting player by all means at all, but I do think he would be good for this Jets locker room, who has a lot of young guys, especially on the defensive side of the ball. There's some huge question marks. He was a leader when he was here. Let's see what he can do if he gets on this team. The thing is about Jamal Adams, injury prone, not going to move like he used to. Connor, you said he's 29, but for DBs in the NFL, that's getting up there in age. So 1 year would be, I would not go anything more than that, because who knows how many games he'll even play in his 1 year. For a very cheap deal, I'd be willing to do it. Just a little tested out deal.
What are you doing, Chris?
But other than that, I mean, anything more than that, anything more than $4 million. Maybe
What's the
five,
my whole thing? This is what I was saying earlier. There's no negative. Like there's no down. There's no.
The
there's no
downside would be
negative.
paying him to sit on your roster.
$3 million when the Jets have like $12 million in not 12, but they have they have an okay amount of cap space right now. Like you can cut them, and you'll save the money. Well, $3 million should not be the reason you don't want to bring in all-pro.
I guess if it's not guaranteed, sure.
Let me see.
I also just don't know how well he moves at this point in his career.
He was playing in NFL games last year.
He was, but a limited amount, and it's not like it was this one thing that he'll be able to recover from. It's been ongoing with different injuries in different spots of his body. So, I mean, I don't know. Besides the injury concern, for that cheap, for sure, go ahead and pull the trigger.
For sure.
Yeah. Josh, same question I kind of asked Chris earlier. Who do you want to kick on this team in 2025?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I was really happy that they cut Greg Zuerlein. You guys were talking about it. Single-handedly was losing us games last year. I think for me, it's Caden Davis, because even though we have, Anders Carlson rostered right now, he has the leg, but I think he's really, first of all, he's really inconsistent. He was missing a lot of extra points before the Packers cut him. And then at the end of last season with the Jets, he wasn't exactly great either. He did his job, but I think that it would be more valuable to at least start a rookie kicker, see what you can get out of him. I mean, he's a UDFA, so he wasn't like a great kicking prospect, but he did his job in college. He has the leg. I think you keep Anders Carlson, maybe practice squad him or something like that. But there should be no reason that a rookie isn't starting this season. And whoever just said Zuerlein in the chat is out of their mind.
Why would Caden Davis? I don't think was that great in college, to be completely honest. Like, I wasn't too high on him. Do you want
Anders
to have
Carlson really? Like, are you
no? You signed someone in free. I want Nick Folk. I want Nick Folk.
Yeah.
I want a name like Matt Prater.
Okay, yeah, I want
an established veteran to kick on this team.
What about a name just drifted through my mind? Is McManus a free agent? If he is, that's another name that comes to mind. But are we talking rostered kickers here? Or you can go out and sign a couple guys because rostered for me would be Kay and Davis. Other than that, like McManus.
And
or
I'm talking overall.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'd rather have a rookie, but I wouldn't feel strongly one way or the other. I get a vet would probably be a good move too.
I want Chris. I know you said you wanted someone, and I quote, reliable. Is that a veteran for you?
Yes.
So who?
Don't have any particular preferences. Just anybody who's out there and can kick a 50-plus yard field goal and consistently make them most of the time.
Yeah, I think you also just need an overall kicker who has the biggest thing. They need to prove they've had success at the NFL level. No one they have on this Jets roster has proven that he's had success at the NFL level. That's the problem.
That's a massive problem.
Maybe bringing Greg Joseph back, who kicked a couple games for this team at the end of the year. Maybe that's a route they take. He's hit from 50 plus. I don't know, but they need someone in here who is not going to lose them games.
Yeah, and I don't think this is a problem that we can look over slightly because last year we talked about it, multiple losses just off field goal issues in and of itself. And then you're adding in what's going to be an extremely inconsistent offense. I think you can both agree on that. An unproven quarterback. Who knows what's happening at the wide receiver spot? That's all a recipe for even closer games, even more emphasis. Maybe this team isn't great in the red zone at certain times. It's an unproven quarterback at the helm. So I think kicking is going to be even more important at this stage than it was last year. So all the more reason to invest some time and thought into the kicking position.
100%. I agree with everything you're saying there. Any other position, Chris, you're circling as a need on the depth chart ahead of the 2025 season?
Wide receiver and defensive line depth. At wide receiver, I would specifically like them to address this by signing either Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen. Take your pick, either or is fine with me, but we just need a solid wide receiver 2 who is a locker room guy. Obviously can be a mentor to all these young receivers because both those guys are veterans and have lots of experience, and they would bring exactly what we need, a reliable wide receiver 2 to take some attention away from Garrett Wilson so he can produce to levels that we know he's capable of. So and regarding defensive line depth, just sign somebody in case Jermaine is slow coming back to start because we know he had that
They signed
terrible
a defensive end yesterday, Michael Fletcher from Michigan State.
Solid. But I know you wanted them to sign the guy. What's his name? Zadarius Smith. Is his right?
Mm-hmm. He's still available, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So you still on board with that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Chris,
So
I got a question for you. I was filling in on Connor's show. I think what was it, Connor? Thursday, maybe when you were
about roughly. Yeah.
And someone asked
Thursday,
me. So, and I want to get your guys' temperature on this. New Orleans walks up to you and says, "We'll give you Olave for a 4th. He's got 2 years left on the rookie deal. Are you guys making that move?"
that is a no-brainer. Are you kidding?
No, that's exactly what I said.
4th round pick. Amen.
There's no way they'd trade him for a 4th round pick.
Yeah, I don't think so. 2 years of Chris Olave, I don't think so. I don't think they'd do it. If they did, yeah.
I'd almost give a second for him, honestly.
Oh, I would not give a second. I would not give a second.
You got that all that chemistry from that Ohio State.
I would certainly think about it. You can't
Chris, chemistry isn't worth a day to pick.
I get it, but also you're getting a solid wide receiver too. I mean, you're getting a great wide receiver too. Let's not kid ourselves here. I know he's injury prone, but when he's on the field, he's a difference maker. And having him next to Garrett makes a world of a difference for this offense.
But I think he already has like 3 concussions at the NFL level.
I know. I mean,
That's
hard. That's hard to recover from.
Yeah, and hard to play. I mean, if they were to trade for him, it would only be for 2 years, but hard to play with longevity and consistency for a while.
There was a quote, I'm trying to find it now, from a Steelers beat reporter about what his trade value was.
And what about if the Jets had traded for Pickens before he went to Dallas? Would you guys have been on board with that? I mean, obviously, he's not what Aaron Glenn wants as the locker room guy. I mean, gives up on routes when he's not getting thrown the ball. I mean, that's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, that's horrible. And Garrett Wilson is the clear-cut wide receiver 1 of this team, and it will remain that way for a while. And I don't want I want George Pickens complaining when he's not getting the most amount of targets because Garrett Wilson is that guy on this team. So I don't think Aaron Glenn would have brought Pickens in, nor would I have wanted it. top need on the New York Jets is D-line, if AJ realizes it or not. Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. That and wide receiver are huge needs, and we need so much more depth, too, because what are we trusting Derek Nottie to be a solid defensive tackle, too? I mean, maybe, but that's not 100% for sure thing at all. So we really need to we need to no, we need to lock in, if you will, and start really gauging what we're going to do at D-line, because it's looking barren right now.
Yeah, I think Barron is generous. There's no one in the Jets D line room right now
It's
other than
horrible.
Quinnen Williams and a still developing Leonard Taylor III.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Underrated positional radar for your boy Chris Grasso.
Oh yeah, Leonard Taylor. I mean, there's no one else. Aaron Glenn has to have faith in somebody if he's not drafting a D tackle that entire time.
Or maybe Aaron Glenn isn't all in on this season and he wants to save his cap space.
Oh, you're not selling me on that argument, bud.
In the words of the one, the only
yeah.
Mr. Morale, it's not enough.
In the words of the one and the only Jack Cotter.
You got to look at a realistic approach here.
Get out of our shoes because
You got to look at a realistic approach here.
Indy says Smith and Corley, wide receiver 2A and 2B.
I mean,
That's preparing to fail in my eyes. Like that's Chris's favorite move, taking a big swing with such a high ceiling and such a low floor on two.
Hey, man, bro,
uneven receivers.
Corley, you can sell me. I think Corley has a legitimate chance to develop into that kind of player for us. If because last year we know he made that boneheaded mistake, but it's really on the coaching staff that he couldn't get reps. Even when we were eliminated from the playoffs, he wasn't on the field, which is diabolical to me. So I think Corley is a huge unknown for us. He really could still be productive if we put him in the right role in our system. So Corley, I'm more confident in than Smith for sure. Smith is a long time project, but he also has upside. So I'm excited to see what they can both turn into.
Joshua, as you chug down on whatever
Coke Zero.
liquid substance that is.
Connor only drinks water. He is above some soda.
The cancer will get to me one day.
Oh, trust
Don't
me, I
say
know.
that.
What?
Oh God, let's not hear Chris's take on American food.
Oh God,
He's just calling timeout backstage, boys.
me and Gary at 3D boxing, baby. me and Gary are aligned.
So Josh, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, are we talking like this is probably
He's
the
at
most
2A and
realistic
2B.
thing to happen? I think this is going to happen, but with Corley at wide receiver 2, how confident am I in it? Not much. I mean, like I'm not. We know Malachi Corley didn't get the reps he deserves. We know he has a chance to do something great. But Chris, you really think he can just like swing right into things at the pro level while getting zero production out of him in his entire rookie season?
No, he's gonna have to put together. He's gonna have to put together a good camp, and then a solid preseason. Like there's levels to this. There's steps he's gonna have to take. It's not just gonna be he automatically jumps into wide receiver 2. He's gonna have to work his way up, build some trust with Aaron Glenn, show the tools that he can really be the yak king. But ultimately, if someone's gonna step up in this wide receiver room, you can mark my words that I think it's gonna be Corley.
So it's not going to be Alan Lazard at wide receiver 2.
No, I honestly want these two guys to be the wide receiver 2A and 2B because like Josh Reynolds, when you have to talk about how great of a blocker a receiver is, they're not that good.
Yeah, I get that 100%.
Like I want to have the two youngest guys who have the most upside getting the most reps on my football team.
I agree, but I think the frame of Alan Lazard and Josh Reynolds reflects their scheme, a run-first offense, guys who can block. So, I mean, that is their scheme this year. Whether we like it or not, they're going to be a run-first team. And personally, I like it because we have Justin Fields, an elite running quarterback, and Breece Hall. That option is going to be elite. So we have so much talent in this running back room, and I'm excited to see how our offense really looks and how we can just put everything into place with this new scheme with Tanner Engstrand.
Yeah, 100%. Indy replying to Chris says Smith isn't a long-term project. He's literally the same project as St. Brown in Detroit.
Did St. Brown, was St. Brown that inconsistent in college? I mean, Smith has had so much problems with drops, we heard. That's my question to Indy. Like, how what was Amon-Ra St. Brown like in college? Because we know Smith has had. I love Smith's speed. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Smith hater. I didn't hate the pick. I mean, I wasn't against it. I know what Aaron Glenn saw in him. He saw the elite speed, which I love personally. He just needs to work on. He needs to eliminate all the drops. I don't know what that was due to, but we're gonna have to figure that out at the NFL level.
And even if one of these guys doesn't turn out the way you hope for them to be, good, you get them out the door quick before things start to ramp up and matter. Like what we did with Denzel Mims. Remember those days where he just wasn't a good football player. We got him out of there before the Rodgers era, which ultimately failed. But we thought we were going to be contending for a Super Bowl. We had the guys that weren't going to fit out already because we had tried them, we had played them, we had evaluated them, and then we knew by the point where it was time to make decisions and time to bring in a bunch of other useless receivers from the Packers that we didn't want the guy on our roster.
You got to look at a realistic approach here.
That was very realistic of you, Josh. Our friend Jack would be very proud.
You got to see him touch the MetLife turf. Connor, add that to our assets.
Definitely. Rep NY says the fact that Michael Clemens still on this team is crazy. I think he's going to be I think Aaron Glenn's going to evaluate him over the summer and say, can this guy be a rotational pass rusher for me? That's the way I think he's looking at Michael Clemens. And I don't hate that. Michael Clemens is not a great player by any means. I still look at his 2022 rookie season, though, and like he was a pretty competent player. I think the way Michael Clemens makes this roster, if he play, he's too big right now for me to play on the outside. He doesn't have enough speed, and that's what he was doing last year. I want Michael Clemens, like if Michael Clemens could put on 20, 30 pounds and slide over to the inside, able to improve as a run defender, show he's a solid rotational piece. Like, is Michael Clemens a good football player? No, but that's what we're looking at because it's not enough, as Kendrick Lamar would say.
Yeah, I don't think the fact that he's on the team is that crazy because what's really crazy is how our lack of depth at that position. So we as crazy as it sounds, we need guys like Michael Clemens to kind of step up and give us something because who else will? We don't have any depth. So as unfortunate as it is, that's the situation we're in right now.
I've never heard this one.
That's the 2025 New York Jets right now with their defensive line group.
Yeah,
defensive line and wide receiver are concerning.
Literally a joke. I mean, he needs to stop coming off the edge. I agree with you, Connor. I mean, I hadn't really thought about this, as Jack would say. I haven't thought of this realistic approach. But if you slide him into the inside, I mean, him running off the edge just looks like a wide receiver playing tight end. It's just like he does not have the modern day defensive end build. Maybe if he can bulk up and try and stop the run at nose tackle, that'll work. But my goodness, he's just not a good edge rusher.
Again, I'm going to try to pull this up here. His PFF numbers from 2022. In his rookie season, Chris, I don't know if you were watching the Jets in 2022, but his rookie season.
I started watching the Jets when Zach Wilson came in. Yeah, I'm clarifying.
He was sticking with the Panthers at that point. If you guys can.
Yeah,
remember.
he was Matt Corral.
He was in his Luke Kuechly jersey.
Matt Corral, franchise quarterback? Question mark? Cam Newton, the greatest quarterback to ever touch the whatever that field at Bank of America.
Bank of America is Vikings. I think.
No, it's not.
No.
You don't even know your favorite.
Vikings is US Bank Stadium. My bad. Vikings is US Bank.
You don't even know your favorite team's stadium. Come on.
All right, bro.
You kidding me? Are you kidding me?
It's talking about some New York over everyone across. All
right, let's see. So Clemens,
New York or nowhere.
And you pick nowhere.
All right, buddy.
Okay, perfect. All right, Clemens.
I didn't get to do the Staten Island debate, but boy, I would have flamed.
Oh God,
flamed you? You live in, bro? Oh, I'm not even gonna get into that, bro.
You cannot say that Staten Island is better than Brooklyn.
All right, look at this.
Yes, it is. Brooklyn is bro.
All right. Let's look at the PFF numbers. We can get back to this.
All right. So tackling grade. Look at 81.5 in 2022.
Drops off to 39.
Yep.
I mean, you could also
Look at
blame
his
some of
run
this on
defense
coaching.
grade. Look at these run defense grades the past 2 years. Not just 22, but these past 2 years as well, and 23 and 22.
I'm not really
Overall
seeing.
grade.
Uh,
What are you saying?
I
I'm
mean,
not seeing it. Too small on my phone.
it's in
80,
less than
Chris,
half
80.
the amount of snaps he got last year, though. Connor.
Chris, wait, let me see that. Total snaps. I guess that's fair, but still, 86.6, 86.4 run defense grade in 2022, 66.6 run defense grade in 2023, 81.5 tackling grade in 2022, 78.7 overall grade in 2022, 65.9 overall grade in 2022.
Missed tackle percentage in 23 was at 16%. That's mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's bad. 0 in 20. He had no missed tackles. And he had 19. Look at that. That's like 2022.
That was the problem with last year and the year before his defensive front, man.
He only had 2 penalties last year. That's crazy.
That whole line was so undisciplined, starting with Javon Kinlaw. My goodness. I mean, they would jump off sides.
That guy was a fucking...
At the worst hard counts.
Whoa, language.
I don't know what
he was terrible.
moving at. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. The biggest problem with Michael Clemens is how undisciplined he was. Like that was a massive problem.
He had okay.
Yes,
that was one play.
AG
should
be able to fix that.
That was one play. He had 4 penalties last year.
Undisciplined is basically Michael Clemens' middle name, bro. Like, and Aaron Glenn can fix that. Like, you can point to coaching and say Michael Clemens is fixable.
It was funny when he punched that referee. I will say that.
I forgot about that.
Chris, do you know what we're talking about?
I do not.
During the Black Friday game, I'm gonna try to see if
I was there. I was at that game. I don't remember him punching the referee.
Fail Mary, baby, Fail Mary.
Get out of here, bro! I spent
Why are we clapping? No, Connor.
This fake Jet fan is clapping at one of the worst plays in franchise history.
Well, I mean, that's only the Jets.
See, Connor, I actually had this question brewing in my mind like for a while. So you say have told me off air that you cannot picture this Jets team being in a Super Bowl, and you can't like.
I did not say that. I said this Jets team. What I said is I don't like. They're cursed. That's from what we've.
Wait, Josh, wait. So is this accurate? So you said they might not make the Super Bowl in our lifetime. Is that more correct?
That's exaggerating. I was exaggerating. I think they will, but like.
All right. So my question to that if they made the playoffs this year, would you have more confidence in them moving forward?
I mean, what? How is that not yes? 1,000%.
Okay, so then that's how important it is to make the playoffs. Like you guys say, oh yeah, making the wild card round and getting blown out is not valuable. Yes, it is.
No,
it is.
It depends on the team. It depends on the team.
For us, it is.
Oh no way!
For the for example, the Jets. Oh my God, that would be incredible. For the Ravens, that's a disappointment. For the Steelers,
yes, but you have to realize we're 2 different teams. Like the Jets have not made the playoffs in so long. It's valuable for us to do that. Alan. Yeah, I mean, Alan is one of the more negative fans. But listen, that's fine. We can all have our perspective on things. I consider myself a more optimistic fan now until they start losing games. And when they start losing games, I'm gonna get so mad. I just hope the season is good. None of us can take any more losing. I just hope Justin Fields at least plays decent.
But back to that curse thing.
Chris, what I was referring to is on the Black Friday game. Remember that like little brawl they had?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, the ref was trying to break it up, and Michael Clemens like elbowed him, and he started bleeding and stuff. Yeah, it was.
Oh
bad.
God! Isn't that the game like Jalen Phillips tore his Achilles too?
Yes.
Yeah.
That took so long to get him
monster.
I didn't even watch the 4th quarter of that game.
Yeah, I mean, we stayed there until the entire game. We endured the suffering like all Jet fans do. It's unbelievable. Terrible.
Highlight Haven says, Josh, when did you get the buzz?
Oh, nah.
No, chill on that. I don't know, Connor, when did you get the buzz?
I got the buzz on 2 weeks ago.
I think
like a week ago.
Tomorrow's my 1 week anniversary, if you're wondering.
We're counting anniversary. Oh no.
Chris, when's your fluff anniversary?
This is curly hair. I don't know what you're referring to my hair as. I have curly hair. I love my hair. I don't plan to cut it, and like you guys have it, I'm good on that.
So, how much is a buzz cut in Mom's barbershop?
I do. I go to a nice Polish man, a nice Russian man who cuts my hair. It's great. His name is Danny, and I love him. See, Danny's such an elite name. Frank and Danny's Pizza. My barber's name is Danny. Just elite.
What
I
about
go to a wonderful, I think he's Russian. I go to a wonderful Russian barber who I've been going to for a long time who always gets me right. Always gets me right.
Beast? How's
have
your
a-
barber?
Let's see. Allen's is 4 to 7 wins, top 8 pick.
I mean, if we have a top 8 pick, we're getting our quarterback. So I mean, that very well could happen. If we have a top 8 pick, great. Get me the best quarterback, whether it be Sellers, whether it be Nussmeier, whoever it is. If this is why I love the Justin Fields move. If it works out, great. You have him. If not, fine. Opt out of the deal and draft your franchise quarterback. And I know it's not that simple, but if you just do it.
Chris, draft a just do it when it comes to drafting a franchise quarter. There hasn't been one franchise quarterback in my eyes clear cut in the past 5 drafts.
What's your
no,
defini-
no, I disagree. No,
What-
my bad. I mean, like guys who are highly touted, for example, like a highly CJ Stroud. Did you just say he's a franchise
Yeah,
quarterback?
CJ Stroud is a franchise quarterback.
CJ
You don't
Stroud
think-
is not a
You
franchise
don't think the
quarterback
Texans are
by
gonna
any measure.
pay
He
him?
was
Bro,
a top
what?
12 quarterback last year. Their defense and the weapons.
No,
around
I'm
him
not.
let him-
Last year he had a sophomore slump. I mean,
He had one good season. That's not how
Jaden
you
Daniels is a
measure-
franchise quarterback.
He's had 1 year in the league. I'm talking about out of the highly touted guys, the percentile of guys who've actually worked out is very, very slim in the past 5 years.
Well, that's just the way it is with the quarterback spot.
Connor, what's your definition of
never
franchise
drafted
quarterback?
Someone who could win a team a Super Bowl within 5 years of them being drafted, and have played in the league for.
But then, no, franchise quarterback is someone who come in and you can win a Super Bowl around, and
That's literally what I just said.
Who runs your franchise? You said within 5 years of being drafted. That doesn't matter. Jared Goff is a franchise quarterback for the
No,
Lions.
I mean they need to make an. Jared Goff's not a franchise quarterback. He hasn't
What?
brought them past. He hasn't brought them to a Super Bowl game. He's not a franchise. You
He
can't
can.
overrate
Hutchinson
Jared
was
Goff.
hurt. Their defense was so injured. They could have made the Super
They
Bowl
went
easily.
through the whole again. They could have, but were they? No. Jared,
Goff's a franchise quarterback.
there's only a handful of franchise quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion.
There's like 10 franchise quarterbacks, if maybe more.
Chris,
Is-
the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL are not franchise quarterbacks.
Connor. I'd like
What?
to ask you a big question here.
Yes.
Brock Purdy just got paid 5 years, 265.
Correct.
He led his team to a Super Bowl. So
I think he's a franchise quarterback. They just paid him a $265 million contract. In the 49ers
and then-
organization eyes,
and
he's
then
a
in the
franchise
season where
quarterback.
there were guys injured around him, look what happened. The team.
I don't think Brock. I would not have given Brock Purdy that contract any day of the week.
Well, he's not accepting anything less.
I think that being the San Francisco 49ers, view Brock Purdy as a franchise quarterback.
The Niners are on the cusp of a rebuild when as soon as they have to pay all those guys. I think they overpaid for Brock Purdy, and he's just a game manager.
Oh, hold on.
I
If that's the
disagree.
case, then you don't think the Texans view CJ Stroud as their franchise guy?
I
If
do,
you're
but
going based on views.
has he brought them to a Super Bowl game? Has he brought them
That
to
doesn't.
That's
I disagree. CJ Stroud is a franchise quarterback, man. Doesn't
Like
they don't
2
have
years
to.
in the NFL, one of which he was a fringe top 10 quarterback.
They don't have to make the Super Bowl to be a franchise quarterback.
He is the future of their franchise.
Exactly.
10
Like
years
the
to
face.
keep
He's
that.
like the
That's
quarterback
the
of their
franchise guy.
franchise.
Just because he's the face of a franchise doesn't mean he's a
That's
franchise.
exactly what a
I don't-
franchise is.
I don't
Aaron
get it.
Rodgers was the face of the Jets franchise for 2 seasons. He was not a franchise quarterback.
He was when he got here, but he didn't pan out. So
No, he
like
wasn't. He was
he.
he was not.
Oh, no. Oh shoot! I almost knocked my computer over. He wasn't our franchise quarterback. No, so he wasn't the Jets franchise quarterback. I agree. If he would have came in here and won, a franchise quarterback is someone who is drafted by you, and not drafted by you, but someone who
You just
leads
said
you.
you
Yeah,
just
I know.
said Jared
That's why I
Goff.
pushed. That's why I pushed back, buddy. That's why I pushed back. Chill. Jared Goff is a franchise quarterback because he manages the game for them and he can lead them to the
You
playoffs
just
and
said
lead them
Brock.
past.
You just said Brock Purdy's just a game manager and he's not a franchise quarterback. Like this doesn't make sense.
Jared Goff has, bro. Jared Goff, Brock Purdy's overrated, man. Like anybody, you can put anybody in that 49ers
You
offense
just said
because you
you
can
just
put
said
anybody in that 49ers offense. You can't put anybody in the Lions offense. Jared Goff is solid.
the Lions have more weapons than the 49ers do.
What about Drake May? He's never won a Super Bowl. I think he.
He's
could
not a
be-
franchise.
What?
He
Yeah.
can.
Y-
He can be. He can be. He's not right now.
No, Lamar Jackson is a franchise quarterback. Justin Herbert is, and Josh Allen is. So this comment is
Correct.
pushing
You
back
can
on
build
you.
around. You can. No. I said they either need to win your team a Super Bowl or you need to be able to build around them. Those three guys you just named, you can build around.
You at first you just said just Super Bowl.
I
Well,
said
then you can
no,
build
no,
around
go back,
Lenore
go,
Sellers if you
go
draft
back.
him.
This comment is
No,
referring
that
to
is
you
not
saying
true.
the Super Bowl.
No,
John,
wait,
clarify.
I didn't just say that. What I said was you either need to be able to build around them, or they need to be able to win a Super Bowl with you.
Okay,
One of the two.
that's
Preferably
fair.
Build around Lenore Sellers.
This guy's a bum.
The North, we don't know yet. I want to get some film from this season to
We've
talk about.
only seen his.
Do you think
freshman
Kyler
year,
Murray is a
Chris.
franchise quarterback?
Chris, he was irresponsible with the football. He has the arm, he has the legs. He needs to develop. He needs to become a more accurate and consistent passer, and he needs to be able to hold on to
Yes.
the football better.
I'm thinking about Connor's
In his
question. Here.
sophomore year, if he can not fumble while running and escaping the pocket, if he can limit the interceptions and become more accurate, easy bona fide number one pick.
All right.
So,
Chris,
so
Geno Smith,
Equal
franchise
highlights.
quarterback.
Holy
Geno Smith, no. Kyler Murray, yes.
Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield's a franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
For the Bucks, yes.
he's done enough to turn them around. Yeah. Remember when it was a competition between him and that Bears backup, Kyle Trask, I think.
Yes. That's
Him and
crazy.
Sam Darnold were on the same roster too, which is wild. CJ Stroud
Where?
measured out to be a
Wait,
top
where?
13. Carolina.
Oh yeah,
And
and
neither
then
one
he
of
went
them-
to LA and learned the
It's crazy how one
that?
one drive on Monday Night Football for Baker Mayfield with the Rams saved his season on a short week too. He
Yeah.
got there, learned the playbook, and came in through that absolute dime. That saved his career.
Crazy. Yeah, that is crazy.
Baker Mayfield was. I would you think if you can go back and redo it, you would make him the number one overall pick?
I mean, the Browns just did such a shitty job building around him. Now you can show what he can do with what's his name, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin as receivers
Yeah.
and a competent running back room. Just shows how dysfunctional the Browns have because and the same with the Jets and Sam Darnold. Like these quarterbacks aren't that bad. But if you just thrust them into a no-help situation, it's not going to pan out, period. My bad. Jimmy. That's bad manners. I'll admit it.
I'm not sure if Darnold is a franchise quarterback. Like that Vikings offense is so good, and Kevin O'Connell.
No.
But they
He
won
is not
14
a-
games
he's not a
last year.
franchise.
There's no denying that.
And Kevin O'Connell can
They
turn
were a
anybody
first round-
good.
Okay, you don't build. Okay, two things. You don't build around Sam Darnold. One round playoff exit. Kevin O'Connell as his head coach does not meet my criteria.
I'm not arguing with you. I agreed with you, Connor.
No, I know. I was just giving my take.
Yeah, so Darnold isn't no for me. I think the Seahawks are gonna have an interesting season. They have Cooper Kupp now. They have Sam Darnold, like the all white team.
What about Geno Smith teaming back up with Pete Carroll in Vegas now?
I mean, I like Ashton Genty with them. They can use Ashton Genty like Pete Carroll use Marshawn Lynch. Now, if they ever make it to a situation where they have to run at the 1 yard line, Pete Carroll better learn his lesson.
That's a bold comparison out the gates for Genty there.
Yeah, I know. Josh is the ultimate Genty hater.
You hate Genty, Josh?
Let's not go that far.
Oh, I forgot you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate Genty. I just think the Jets
When you
needed
make
talent.
my
Other
AI generated song, Connor Long, you can toss that in there.
What happened?
When
Oh,
you make
yes.
my AI generated song.
Yep.
We haven't
Let's
even
see.
gotten to Jax yet. We
Let's
need to
tether
get
through the list. Jordan Love,
Yes,
them.
100%.
Bryce
Yes.
Young.
No, this is my take on Bryce Young. I have a very interesting take.
Oh, I think he's a great player.
I think the Panthers made a bad mistake
Chris
drafting him.
knows about that.
In general, they gave away they gave away the keys to their franchise for him. That was a horrible mistake. And then they let one good stretch. They let one good stretch.
Well, not at all. Bryce Young his first year, talk about bad coaching, Chris. His team started off
That's-
1-11. He had no one around him. His coaching staff, in my opinion, was worse than the 2024 Jets coaching staff. Bryce Young never got a fair opportunity. Struggled to start. I took last year as his true rookie season. Struggled to start the year, got benched. That's what he needed. When he came back from his benching with a true offensive mind, he really, really stood out and thrived. I'm not signing off on Bryce Young by any means. I'm looking at these numbers here. Like he was last game of the season, 44-38 overtime win, 73.5% completion percentage, 251 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns the week prior. 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, 65. Like this guy is he's like a good athletic quarterback. I want to see one more year in this new system.
I'll see one more year, but I'm not being.
He's not. I'm not deeming him a franchise. I'm not dubbing him a franchise quarterback by any measure. I'm just saying I'm not calling him a bust yet.
I was a Bryce Young hater for out the gates. I never liked Bryce Young. You can reference my Giants fan friend who I do all my mock drafts with. I love.
Jimmy.
What did Jimmy say?
Well, I'm talking to Jimmy here. Jimmy did not put anything in the chat. Jimmy, Chris, as we know, is a Panthers fan, so he has some extra insight into Bryce Young and
that's
his development.
He's always keeping up. Yep.
I do not keep up with Panthers football. I'm devoted my life to the Jets. So I will continue to. I'm gonna be a season ticket holder as soon as I have my own salary that I can support. So, listen.
Better save it for that PSL, Chris. They're gonna scam you in every way possible, buddy.
Oh, I will never become a Jets season ticket holder. I
love MetLife Stadium. I love everything about it.
Why?
You love it because the Jets played there. If
there's nothing but parking lots. It's terrible.
The tailgate is awesome, and then just we have the biggest capacity. We have the best capacity in the NFL, 80,000.
And it never fills up, so who cares?
Yes, it does. I've been to primetime games where it's filled up. It was filled up with the Patriots game this year, the week 3.
Oh, that was probably the high point of your entire Jets fandom, 24-3.
It was. You're right. It was.
You have never seen anything like that.
My favorite Jet game is the Browns game, week 2 of 2022.
I have a crazy story about that.
Turned that game off, and then I got the notification that they scored. It was a 1-point game. Turned it back on, saw them recover the onside kick.
Thank you, John. Let's go, baby. Never let anyone break my Jets fandom. Not even the Jets can break my Jets fandom. No matter how heartbreaking it gets, I'll always bleed green and white, baby.
I guess even though it doesn't matter, it felt good to send Bill Belichick off on a losing note in his final game.
Bill Belichick is a bum.
I don't think people really think that, though.
I mean, he got our number every single fucking time we played them, so whatever.
Yo, language boy. Yeah, but listen, that was nice to beat them in that week 18 game. I don't care what anybody says. Bill Belichick has
killed our draft position.
Bill Belichick has done the most to screw us.
You play to win the game.
I agree with that sentiment 1,000%. I wanted them to win, but when all's said and done, I root for my football team to win every game. I don't root for tanking. I just think that's I can't sit and watch a game and root for the team I love to lose. That just doesn't. I can't wrap my head. I can't wrap my head around that logic. But what I'm saying is, I would have much rather have the 5th overall pick in that year's draft than beat the Patriots in week 18 and send Bill Belichick packing with the win and beat them for the first time in a meaningless game for the first time in 17 years.
I mean, yeah, I get that logic, but Bill Belichick has done the most to screw us over. Bill Belichick, you mentioned this to me off air. I knew this story beforehand, though. Bill Belichick could have been the reason behind the Rodgers injury. Now, let me explain. In that year's draft, we could have selected Broderick Jones, a tackle from, I think, Georgia. Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But instead, the Patriots traded away the pick before us to the Steelers, who needed a tackle. They took Broderick Jones, and it forced us to take Will McDonald. Now, Will McDonald turns out to be better than I thought at the time. I was so mad when that happened in real life. We needed a tackle so bad, we just ignored it. We took a linebacker. He was a linebacker at the time. So it was crazy. And listen, so it felt so good to send Bill Belichick off like that, no matter what.
We got a super chat that I missed from earlier, so let's pull that up. Our guy Indy Jets comes in. The 2-month super chat. Indy, thank you so much for all your support. As always here on the program, my friend. Nick's losing 6. Yeah. Sending them home again.
I'm not worried about Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers, Indy. I'm not. But
Indy
listen.
Jets and Indy Pacers fan? Am I connecting the dots here wrong or
I think so, Josh. I think so.
okay? So Jets, Pacers. You might be the only person on that planet with that combo, Indy, but good for you, brother.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Tyrese Halliburton, is that what you called him?
So here's how Bumpton.
I hate the way that guy shoots. It's so stupid.
Interesting take.
His form is awful. He shoots like this. I'm gonna get a beast breakdown of Tyrese Halliburton shooting for you guys.
What shirt are you wearing, Josh?
Oh, glad you asked. My Jake.
Oh,
Asman
yeah,
shirt
baby.
Came in the mail.
Shout out to the Jake Asman show. Shout out to Jake. Big Knicks fan. Knicks in 6, Knicks in 5, Knicks in 4, Knicks in all the above, baby. We're winning the chip.
Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride.
Oh yeah.
I love Aaron Glenn, man. No one else I'd rather
Okay,
have.
I want to get to we haven't even, people say that quote all the time. I think there's mixed emotions of what that quote actually means.
What do you
I
mean?
think a lot of people, think it's, oh yeah, baby, that means year one we're going to the Super Bowl. I think what he means by saying putting on our seatbelts and get ready for the ride, this is the way I interpret every time I hear this quote. I hear it every single day, multiple times a day. The way I think of it as put your seatbelts on, get ready for the ride. Not everything's going to be perfect. There are going to be some rocks. There are going to be some bumps that this team is going to go through. There's going to be some struggles that this organization is going to continue to go to till we see the promised land. But once you get to the promised land, there's nothing like it. That's what I think that quote means.
I agree with you 100%.
Contrary to popular belief.
And I agree with you. And all the bumps, all the adversity, that's where you need a leader of men coach like Aaron Glenn to step in and steady the ship, which is why I'm so excited for him leading us. We needed him. It fits together like this. It's a perfect match. He wanted this job. He wanted to be the guy who comes in here and saves us from poverty and restores what it means to be a New York Jet.
I'm most excited for Tanner Engstrand.
He's pretty very important. He's gonna be extremely important for Justin Fields, for all of us. He's the one orchestrating the offense, so I'm excited to see. But I want Aaron Glenn to be the head coach of the New York Jets until he dies. And you're gonna mention how I want him fired if he wins 3 games. I'm so confident that will not happen. Like I think Aaron Glenn's gonna be a good coach.
Chris,
Realistically.
I can't wait till our program.
My name is Chris Grasso and I love the Jets more than everyone else. I am a highlight warrior. Aaron Glenn is the best coach they could have hired, but under 4 games won and he must be fired. I love every.
Under
Chris.
4 games, 1, and he must be fired.
Yep, because the talent on this team, a good coach would maximize the talent. Even if Fields sucks, you can put in Tyrod and get 7 games out of him. 7 wins, out of that season at this point. You can salvage the season even if Justin Fields is bad. So you'll know if Aaron Glenn is a good coach. We'll all know.
You think that Tyrod Taylor leads this team to 7 games as a starting quarterback? I'm not sure about that.
If he must.
I don't think it's just a plug-in-and-play system here. Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor are probably polar opposite quarterbacks. One can run, escape the pocket, can't throw
Josh, you're forgetting that Tyrod Taylor has legs. Like, Tyrod Taylor isn't a statue.
Oh, yeah, Tyrod Taylor is very mobile. Very mobile.
Very mobile at this stage in his career? No.
Yes.
Did you watch the Bills game?
What Bills game? Oh, when he came in garbage time?
Correct. You could still see athleticism.
I mean, I probably turned that game off. It was ridiculous.
I only watched it because Tyrod came in. Tyrod was fun. Like, he threw 2 touchdowns, and I was like, start Tyrod over this.
Oh, God. Here Rodgers hate.
On the sideline. How's that Rodgers hate? He played
like
shit.
The Connor Long post-game live press conference afterwards.
Did you guys even see the clip of when Rodgers threw the interception against the Bills, and he didn't even try to tackle the guy, and he was just sitting there, and he's like, no.
And
tackle the guy? You want him to hurt himself more?
That was the same.
Yes, in week 17. I don't care. That bum was out of here anyways. He's trying to make a fucking football play.
That was the same game where he underthrew Kenny Abdullah by 10 yards and blamed it on.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That
he
might be
underthrew him by 20 yards, and he's like, what?
That's exactly what happened. That might
let me send my tight end on a crossing route to the front pylon, throw the ball.
Let's back up here.
And cry about it. Like
I'm trusting a Hall of Fame quarterback when we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm trusting a Hall of Fame quarterback that guy ran the wrong route when we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And I think Rodgers had a reason to be upset there. Just throwing it out there.
Shouldn't Hall of Fame quarterbacks, even if he did run the wrong route, which I highly doubt, shouldn't Hall of Fame quarterbacks be able to adapt and find their receiver
The
on the right
Rogers
spot?
glaze is crazy, Chris. There
Oh,
was
yeah.
no one in the zip code. Are you serious? And he underthrew
Let's not get crazy. It was at his
the
feet.
ball
No one in the
is
zip
out.
code is
It
not.
was not at his
back
feet.
for that ball, putting his body on the line. And then Aaron Rodgers, even if he had ran the wrong route, even if Yeboah had dived and missed the ball, and then Aaron Rodgers wants to blame him like he didn't put in the effort on that play or something, that's beyond ridiculous.
Okay. Like,
Okay, so why are you so
shit,
all in
you're
on
switching
Rodgers?
between.
Yes, this is so much better.
Wait, what?
You're
Hold
on
on.
the computer now.
Gotta mute the phone.
Yes.
Alright. Turn this down.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna wrap up here soon. We kind of covered everything
Yep.
tonight. We appreciate you all. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, pin comment, fill out the Next Gen Jets game meetup form, folks. We appreciate the hell out of you guys, and we appreciate all your support here on the program. So we're trying to get everyone together. We're trying to meet everyone in person. So we appreciate you all. Smash that like, hit subscribe. Back tomorrow, 7 p.m. EST for the Sunday show. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. Smash that like, hit subscribe. For Chris and Josh, I'm your host, Connor Long, signing off. Everyone have a great night. And as always, JTS, Jets, baby. Peace out.